And that's the thing that has to become enough. God could be blessing you abundantly even in the hardship. God could be blessing you abundantly even in the season that no one else thinks is cool. God could be blessing you abundantly even in the place where no one else would be like, oh, that's awesome. It's like, no, but it is because God's here. And that's where Joseph was. Now we continue on, and it says, now Joseph was handsome in form and appearance. I'm telling y'all, Joseph was blessed. And after a time, his master's wife caught eyes on Joseph, and she said, lie with me. But he refused and said to the master's wife, behold, because of me, my master has no concern over me in the house. So basically, Potiphar's wife is trying to get Joseph to lie with her. She's lusting after him, and she wants him, and he's like, no, like, I'm not going to do this. He goes on and he says, how can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? And she spoke to Joseph day after day, and he would not listen to her. Some of you feel like your temptation's like that right now. It is day after day, a whisper in your ear, day after day, and it is just getting to you, but he handles it so good. He would not do it. But one day he went into the house to do his work. None of the other men were in the house, and she caught him by his garment. Once again, she said, lie with me. But he left his garment in her hand, and he fled and got out of the house. That is a pro tip to all of you in middle school, high school, and college. How do you avoid your temptation? Get out of the house. Leave the house. If you gotta leave your garment, leave your garment. Delete the app. Get out of the relationship. Whatever you have to do, get out of the house. He got out of the house. But she caught him. She got his garment. And so what happened was, even though he didn't actually fall into the temptation, she framed it to look like he did. And so whenever everybody got back and Potiphar got wife, he said, this Hebrew, he just slept with me and all this stuff. And once again, we get to this scheme of kill, steal, and destroy. And you say, well, she didn't kill him. She pretty much did. Because back in the day, if a master's wife said that a slave would have slept with him, he would have been dead. That's the sentence for that. He would have been dead. She stole from him. She stole the garment. She framed him. She made it look like it was something that it wasn't. She destroyed his reputation, destroyed his life, destroyed his job title of being the overseer of everything in the house. She stole, she killed, she destroyed. Well, where did that come from? Lust? Just a second ago, it was just lust. Just a second ago, it was just something outside of the boundary of marriage, but then all of a sudden, it led to this much bigger thing. Do you see what I'm saying? That there is a pattern, there is a pathway. In James 1, it says it's so good. I'm going to read it to y'all. James 1, verses 14 and 15. But each person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desire. Then desire, when it is conceived, gives birth to sin. And sin, when it is fully grown, brings forth death. There's a process to sin. Over time, these small things become really big things. And so take the time while you're here in this room to uproot those things. Lay them down. I love how Joseph is like, why would I do that? Why would I risk the abundance of what God has for me in my life for a moment of temporary satisfaction? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get out of the house. Why would I risk what God's going to do in my life because of this one moment that the enemy's tempting in? You have the permission to say no to the enemy. Not only the permission, you have the authority to say no to the enemy. And some of you need to be reminded about that. Don't let the enemy steal your identity, because see, what happens is he didn't actually sin. He didn't actually fall, but yet the enemy still framed him as if he did.